Good morning, nation. Y'all know what time it is. Let's do this shit.
Inside Allegiant Stadium for the first time this year. Max Crosby. Touchdown Raiders. And traffic is picked off by Robert Spillane. Josh Jones. Amazing. Let's go, Black Phillip. To the back and he's caught there for the touchdown. And drilled from behind. Ball's out. Big man running.
This is a great opportunity for us to come home in front of our family, fans, Raider Nation, the Black Hole.
Raiders! Yeah, damn right.
What is up, Raider Nation? Good morning and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Raiders. I appreciate everybody tapping in on this early Saturday morning after we were grinding last night, all late night and shit, like deviants. But I appreciate everybody joining me this morning to talk about some Raider news, some Raider football. Chop it up. Appreciate all my ride or dies in the building today. As usual, if you are new to the show, welcome. But go ahead and check in, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you support the show. Turn on notifications because I'll be doing shows just like the one I did last night. Pop-up show when news breaks. I'll jump on. We'll talk about it. Make sure you turn on those notifications when breaking news happens. I'll be putting that out there. So turn on those notifications. Stay up to date on everything Raider related. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for sure, 100%. But yes, we have a very exciting show today that I have for you guys. But really quick, let me go ahead and hit everybody up on my chat before we go ahead and get started. My guy, Jeff, New England Boosters, appreciate you for tapping in, brother. My guy, Raider Rundown, what is up, brother? Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. I hope you have a good show too. He's on in about an hour, so he's gonna be doing his damn thing. He has a very special guest over there, so for sure, make sure you guys tap in a little bit later on. And my guy L11, appreciate you for watching, brother, for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get the show really started, I want to go ahead and bring in my special guest for today. This man is the co-host alongside the GOAT 209. They do their weekly show, QX Cast. Make sure you guys go onto his channel, give him a subscribe. They just had a big show last night, right before mine. So it was very exciting. But I'm gonna bring in my guest, Raiders AQ. Appreciate you for tapping in, brother. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, my man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. So, a lot of things to talk about, to cover.
Yes, sir. A lot of things have happened, over the last 2 days. I know you and I were a little bit chopping at the bit 2 days ago with the whole deal with Spytek, and I just kept refreshing my X feed, and I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, is this really gonna bounce? Is he gonna stay? Like, what the fuck is going on today? But we got that situated, got that sorted out, and he is now part of the Raiders. But I think the biggest news, aside from him, is our guy. It's been made official. Our guy, Pete Carroll, is now the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Um, Big news. A lot of people saw this coming as he was, after Ben Johnson decided to go ahead and go elsewhere. He was basically named the front runner, and that was the majority of the consensus with a lot of people, especially with the Raiders not really lining anybody up for interviews after the whole BJ and Pete Carroll thing. We really didn't see anybody else named or being considered for that head coaching position. So, um, yeah, Matt, tell me, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about Pete now being the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders? I know there's some people out there that don't have, they're not welcoming them with open arms.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I think Pete Carroll is a great hire. He's going to bring the identity and culture that the Raiders have been missing since Gruden left. We've had no identity. We've had no culture. Pete Carroll's going to come in, whether it's, 2-3 years, and he's going to, make his mark. He's going to bring stability to the locker room. The locker room, with AP during those, 4 games towards the end of the season, that was the most stable the Raiders have ever been. When he was chanting Raiders, doing all that stuff when he was his interim coach. So I think Pete Carroll is just going to bring back that identity, that culture. Raiders with Ben Johnson, I'm not sure if he really had a chance at Ben Johnson. I feel like he used this as leverage, to get that $13 million from Chicago. He was kind of saying, hey, Raiders are offering me 15. I'll come for 13. He used this as leverage. And that's kind of what the Raiders have always kind of been, back even in the Oakland days of free agency and stuff like that. A lot of players, coaches use us for leverage. We've always had money. We've always had huge cap space. And I mean, unfortunately, when you're not winning, that's what teams and players and coaches are going to do. They're going to use us as leverage. So I think Pete Carroll is going to bring back that identity, hopefully get some free agency signings and as well as Spytek, coming from Tampa, he built that good team over in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Carroll made Geno Smith look pretty good. Spytek went and got Baker Mayfield, who was kind of, on the back end of, who knows what he's going to be.
I like Baker, man. I thought that was a good acquisition. I wanted us to get him, and Tampa snatched him up, rightfully so.
Yes, I think Spytek is really good at building teams because obviously the biggest issue with us is the quarterback position. So you got Pete Carroll, who kind of developed Geno when everyone kind of was out on Geno, and Spytek, same thing with Baker. So I like Pete. I was kind of on the Pete wagon. I mean, I kind of grew up near Los Angeles, so USC's kind of, all about us. So
yeah, no, for sure. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Same, bro. I mean, once I found out they're actually going to interview Pete, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is a great interview. This is somebody you definitely want to go ahead and have on your list. Pete, his accolades. I mean, he's won a national championship at SC. He made SC into this powerhouse juggernaut for years, where everybody was afraid to play USC. And there were always top 5, if not top 10, back in the old ranking system. And then he decided to go ahead and go to Seattle, and look what he did. He literally revamped that whole program and made them relevant. 2 years go by, and then this guy wins the Super Bowl. Next year, NFC champions, they go back to the Super Bowl. It's insane. So, I like Pete from the get-go, and I'm happy he's here, and I really want to see what he does. This is the best choice. This is the best route that the Raiders could have gone from everybody they interviewed. Could you have interviewed more people? Yeah, possibly, but I agree. The whole thing with Ben Johnson, a lot of us were saying, why the fuck would Ben Johnson want to come here, right? And I was really surprised that we were actually able to get him in to interview, and that's all Brady. Brady literally jumped on the phone, talked to his agent for an hour, convinced them, literally pitched them on why he should come and interview with us. And we were really in the consideration at that point. But I think he knew in the back of his mind, look, they have a fucked up situation. Yes, it's a whole rebuild almost, but they don't have really anything. They don't really have an answer at the quarterback position. They don't have a number one pick or in the top 5. Technically, they're at 6. So that means you got to trade up to get to 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, right? To get into the top 5. So he probably saw that as like, this is a difference maker. This is like they are at with Chicago already have Caleb. Like, I'm good, like
Yeah, exactly.
Caleb just had a fucked up situation. Yeah, Caleb had a fucked up situation. That's all,
Yeah, he had no O-line. I think Caleb Williams had a great year considering a lot of these rookies, are made out to be they want these rookies to come out like Daniels, and that's not reality, man. You got to give these guys time to develop.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Ben Johnson and Caleb is a pretty good pairing. So interesting to see what happens there. I know a lot of people now are shedding on BJ, and that's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. He made his choice, but I really didn't think at first that we were in consideration, and I was just happy the fact that we were actually this shit might actually happen, and last minute when the whole thing on Monday morning when everybody woke up to Ben's going to Chicago, this stunned people. This stunned me a little bit, especially with all the beat writers saying like, "Hey, we're almost a lock to get this guy," especially with the money they're offering him. So
the beat writers, unfortunately, are when they first moved to Vegas, they made it a point, especially with Vic Toffer and stuff, to kind of not leak it within the building. I'm not sure why they made that decision, but that's kind of why our beat writers are kind of always out of the loop. I have no clue why. That's just the way they do it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, at least we've already have 2 people from that. We already got 2 pieces of the puzzle already on the board. We got Spytek and then we got Pete Carroll. So now the question kind of shifts over to who are they going to bring in as offensive coordinators, defensively and offensively, right? So that is the next order of business. You got to go ahead and start building your staff up, right? And that could go in so many different ways. We found out at least one person on the defensive side is not available anymore. Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh just signed with the Niners, so he's reuniting with them and running it back for some time over there. So, and we like them as a possible candidate come in as DC and have him reunite with Carroll. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. So, we got to kind of rethink who we want to bring in for that position. But for offensive coordinators, there's a couple names that I've thrown out there that I think that could be possible candidates. Michael Ford, Clint Kubiak, Bobby Sowick. Just so everybody knows, if they weren't aware of what happened yesterday, he got let go by the Texans, so he is now available. And I think he did a pretty good job over there. I think the only drawback with that is that people are saying that CJ regressed a little bit. I don't know. I mean, you can attribute to a bad year too, but I mean, he's put the Texans and he put that team back into back on the map and really made it a kind of contender in a sort. So I like Bobby. The other names: Brian Leftwich, Frank Wright, and Chip Kelly. What are your thoughts about those guys right there? All those names that I just put out.
I think LaFleur would be ideal if you can poach him from the Rams. Anyone who comes from the Sean McVay coaching tree seems to, flourish into their own person, which is, I think, what the Raiders need. Even with LaFleur, he could possibly be the next guy up from Pete Carroll, but the whole thing will be poaching him. I think the next realistic option would be Brian Leftwich, obviously with the Spytek connection over in Tampa Bay. Leftwich had a great year. I mean, man, he had that Tampa Bay offense scoring 30-plus points a game. And he had Baker. I mean, he had Baker Mayfield, he had, Mike Evans, but dude, he was balling out over there. He was, in his bag. When it comes to Bobby, honestly, I'm not a fan. I know why people are a fan because he had that great year last year with CJ Stroud. But I think he got figured out. He was running a lot of crosser routes. He was running a lot of he was running very one-dimensional plays where, if you put the right cover threes out there, the right zones, I think that, he got figured out. I think that's why CJ had his slump, was because they were very one-dimensional. Joe Mixon started the year very great, fell off towards the end. When it comes to Chip Kelly, I think Chip Kelly would be in the conversation. We'll see what he decides to do. Another one was Joe Sloan from LSU. I think he would be a great offensive coordinator as well if you can go poach him from LSU. And then also Pete. He's the Seattle game passing coordinator. Seattle was ranked 8th in passing this year, and I think he'd be a decent option as well. Obviously, with the Pete Carroll connection.
Right. Another name that has been thrown out there that I think he's mentioned is that he might bring in sons. Brandon Carroll, which is currently the offensive coordinator at University of Washington, and then Nathan Carroll, he's a passing coordinator at Carolina at the Panthers. So it'll be interesting to see if that actually happens. I mean, I know the whole league is built on nepotism and coaches bringing their sons. I mean, we just had AP bringing his son, Gruden with Deuce. And we know it happens, but I don't know if you put these guys in a integral central piece into the offense where these guys are running it. I would like to see some of those names being interviewed and really being considered before they actually like bring in these guys or Mike LaFleur. I like Mike LaFleur. I don't know. This is a name I've been constantly throwing out. He's talented. He's under the McVay tree. The only thing is he's not calling the plays right now, right? In LA. So if you bring him over, if you poach him from the Rams, then now you have the opportunity. Hey, you know what? You're gonna come here and you're gonna call the play. So everything you learn, everything you want to do, you almost have free reign on it. This is gonna be your thing. This is gonna be your puppy. You run it. You take care of it. So I think that's going to open up a whole other world for him, right? If he's really going to show what he can do, especially with the offense that we currently have, right? Obviously, there's still, we're going to put pieces in place. We're going to acquire more people, so it's going to change. But at the current situation, this is what you're facing. So, and obviously, pitching him, hey, you know what? Come over here. You run your offense, and then you could possibly inherit the team. Pete's not here long term. We know he has a shelf life. We know he has a date or around about
3 years for a Raiders coach is a long time.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, normally they're here for a year, 2 years, and they're out. See you later. Like who said that? I think it was a Coward. Like they just do a residency and then they do a 12-month residency and then they're out. I'm like, all right, cool.
They're gone.
Like quick. DJs, bro. Yeah, they're like DJs. They just come in and do a thing. All right, cool. Bye.
Yep, perfect for Vegas too. Those residencies last a couple months.
Yeah, but I think we're finally starting to see the reshape of the Raiders and how their outlook on the whole coaching carousel and I think Brady's trying to let them know that hey, you know what, you need to take your time on these candidates, on these picks. They got Pete. All right, cool. Now we can build off of that. We can figure out who's going to inherit the team. Obviously, he's if we were bringing this guy in, he knows how to build teams. He's going to be the judge of character on who's going to be able to take over once he decides to hang it up. I think they gave him a 4th-year option. I didn't have a chance to look into that. I think that means he kind of stays on as an advisor. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe
that is. I think it's 3 years with the 1-year extension. I'm not sure what the extension means myself. I would assume advisor, but
you never know. It might be that. I don't know. If somebody on the chat knows, let me know for sure. I haven't had a chance to
we're actually talking about it last night with the whole Pete Carroll. We had brought it up that you kind of got to do a reverse AP with Pete Carroll. With AP, you
Mhm.
brought in Marvin Lewis, you brought in Tom Coughlin as his advisors. With Pete Carroll, you got to find two guys that possibly, can take over the reins.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's a scenario you have to go ahead and build, but really quick, before we continue on, I did put out a poll in the chat. Make sure you guys are in my channel. Make sure you guys go ahead and put in your vote in that poll. I asked the audience who should Pete Carroll bring in as an offensive coordinator. I got Mike LaFleur, Bobby Slowick, Clint Kubiak, and Brandon Carroll's son. 60% so far has voted Mike LaFleur with 5 votes in. Make sure if you guys are watching, go ahead and tap in your vote for sure, 100%. Let me go ahead and hit up the chat before we go a little bit further. Again, my guy, salute to my guy Billy Davis for tapping in. Appreciate you, brother, for watching. Walt, appreciate you for watching. He asked, people talking about successors for old Carroll. Ideal for me would be Lincoln Riley. 3 has been quarterbacks, but I guess that's a pipe dream.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. My guy L11, appreciate you for tapping in, brother. Prince says we really need to get info on coordinators because, man, I don't want to see Seattle Seahawks 2.0. I like Clint Kubiak and Michael LaFleur for OC, though. I mean, yeah, those are the 2 candidates I would like to see. Either one of those guys. I mean, I lean more towards Mike, but I'm mad at Clint. And we actually were looking at Clint last year, and for whatever reason, either we were too late or AP got vetoed, and that kind of fell to the wayside. So I don't know what happened, but I would like to go ahead and see Clint interviewed, and then see if we can make that possibly happen. But yeah, for sure. My guy Walt says DC. If he wants to coach, I think he meant PC. I'd rather go after Leslie Frazier. So that's another thing too on defensive coordinator. Patrick Graham might stay. That might be a possibility. I know he didn't sign the extension contract. He wanted to go ahead and kind of test out the waters for head coaching, but I think with New Orleans possibly being the only one left, I don't know if there's another team out there that's looking to fill in their head coaching spot. Cowboys already signed their guy. They're going with Schottenheimer. So I think it's only New Orleans left. And so I think they're going to probably lean towards Mike McCarthy because Mike McCarthy is the only one out there really looking for a job alongside Patrick Graham. What are your thoughts about do you like Patrick Graham? Do you want him to stay another year?
I think Patrick Graham's the best way of keeping Max Crosby happy. Max Crosby has posted some cryptic tweets over the past few days. I believe they're towards Patrick Graham. I think one way to keep him happy, to try to keep the defense consistent, you keep Patrick Graham, then you maybe you can keep Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs is a free agent; he might be gone. But if you can give him some consistency in that building, I believe you have a better chance at Nate Hobbs. Even the same thing with Jack Jones. Jack Jones, obviously was an AP guy. But if Patrick Graham stays, I believe possibly you can keep Jack Jones. You can keep Nate Hobbs. You keep Crosby happy. I think a priority is trying to keep, PG in the building.
Yeah, for sure. And then that definitely might happen. If in case Patrick goes, I'm gonna throw this name out there, Robbie Leonard. Robbie has a great relationship with the guys. He already has that continuity. They really think highly of him. He's a talented defensive guy. And I'm gonna put this out there. This is something, and that's why I was telling everybody last night. Make sure you tap into the morning show. But if some of y'all don't know, a lot of teams have been requesting Robbie, and we've denied all of them. So we've been blocking teams from interviewing with Robbie. So there is a plan for Robbie. We just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Robbie taking over at DC?
I think it's a very good possibility. It might be one of those things, like he might be a PG guy. I mean, there's a lot of variables when it comes to these guys and what they want to do with their careers. I think if Robbie stays, I think Graham stays. I think that's just how it is. I don't think one goes and the other stays. I think I don't know why. I just have a feeling they're a pair.
So you feel like they're tandem?
I have a feeling. I don't know. I just my feeling that they're a tandem.
Mhm.
Just for the time being. That's kind of how I feel on him.
Mhm.
I truthfully, I think Patrick Graham stays. Some people were throwing out Dennis Allen and stuff. I mean, I don't want him on the Raiders.
No, no, and I think he's set at Chicago. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that I think
I
that's
think
a
he's
done
set
deal over
too.
there.
Did he
Yeah,
finally
yeah.
sign over there?
Um,
I seen that name
I
a
know
few
that I
times
was
tonight,
yeah,
but I was like,
yeah,
man, I don't know why people are throwing that name out there. And then obviously Saleh went to the Niners. I think he would have been the home run hire. I think he would have
mhm,
been a good guy to, take over after Pete, but
yeah,
he's gone, so you kind of just gotta go with the punches at this point.
yeah, yeah. I know another name that's been thrown out there that could possibly take over at DC's Riverboat Ron Rivera.
Riverboat Ron, I like
Yeah,
Riverboat Ron, man. He has a good eye for talent.
yeah.
He's a California kid too. I believe he grew up a Raiders fan, from my knowledge. He grew up Northern California, and
Okay.
yeah, I I would like Ron.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. But yeah, I know his name has been floating out there. He did interview for head coach, and I think sometimes when they bring him in for those type of interviews, it's not necessarily also just for that position. They might pick his brain on certain things.
Mhm,
And then sometimes just like any other, hey, if you don't get this position, would be interested in something else.
mhm,
That's kind of my take on that. Especially if they're so good at a certain thing like offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, obviously, and they haven't been in the mix for a little bit. I mean, that to get back into the league, that's a good transition to get back into. So maybe those questions were asked during the interview process, like, hey, if this gets booked up, like, would you be interested in coming in as a defensive coordinator? Is that something that you would be interested in? Because sometimes like you said, if he grew up a Raiders fan, I mean, to coach for the Raiders at some capacity, at some level, and then DC's a pretty high level.
mhm.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to take it? Especially if there's really nothing open out there. I mean, and Raiders are wanting you to come over. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah,
Right?
so
Yeah,
funny story about Ron Rivera. I mean, kind of off topic here. When
yeah,
they were in the Super Bowl versus the Broncos back in Super Bowl 50, about 9 years
mhm.
ago, I was living about 45 minutes out of the Bay Area. So I went to a few events out there and I ran into Ron Rivera's family. And they're the
Oh,
ones that
really?
told me that Ron kind of had a soft spot for the Coliseum and the Raiders. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
There you
shit.
go. Yeah. See,
So,
that's some crazy shit. Yeah. No, that's good to know. And that might be a little bit inside or what possibly could happen here. Obviously nothing has been named yet. A lot of people are just floating names out there, to be kind of like a realistic thing. But yeah, I know there's going to be a few more names that are going to be pitched out there
oh, for
for
sure. I see through a comment here. I know you're going with your comments. Ken Norton, I think he might get an interview. Um, Obviously he comes from the Pete Carroll coaching tree. A
Yep.
lot of Raider fans don't like Ken Norton, but man, he assembled one of the greatest defenses of all time, in my opinion. So I mean,
Yeah.
give him time and see what he can do. He assembled obviously the Legion of Boom. So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I mean,
So
give him a chance. Give him a chance. I mean,
give
you
him
never
a chance.
know.
Yeah.
Something might be good.
Definitely. I don't. I feel at the rate of what we have done so far up to this point. I think you have to do your due diligence. I don't think we can
Mhm,
leave no certain stone unturned, and see what fits. I mean, obviously, it's going to be Pete's system,
mhm.
but there might be a little bit of fluidity with that, because obviously it's not a permanent thing where it's a 10-year type of thing or 5-year type of thing. He's out in 3.
Yeah,
So he knows there has to be a little bit of leeway with that. So his approach might be a little bit different. I think he has to look at it as what's going to be good as a whole long term. If I depart, when I depart, who's can this team go on with this coach?
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, since we're on the chat again, let me go ahead and hit up the chat before I do. Appreciate everybody tapping in on this Saturday morning. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for sure. Keep supporting the show. Keep the lights on. Hit that subscribe button. Hit those thumbs up on both channels. If you're watching on Q's channel, make sure you guys, if you're new to that show, welcome. Hit that subscribe button for sure. Keep tapping in as well. Really quick, go to my guy Walt. He says, I want a clean slate. Nothing against Graham. That's cool. I get that too. I get that side. I mean, you've already the Turners are most likely going to be gone. I don't see them sticking around, especially under Pete. They might go to North Carolina with Belichick, and yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and get a new installment of coordinators here. And normally that is a process. Prince says, keep Dennis Allen, Ken Norton, and Gus Bradley away, please. LOL. But yeah, I think I missed a couple here. Walt says, Clint Kubiak flunked last year, maybe because the Saints broke down Carr. I mean, I'm not a Carr fan, bro. So I think that was a little bit of a Carr right there. So we'll see what happens. But and then Prince says, with Pete being a defensive guy, my concerns are more on the offensive side. Keeping PG would be best, in my opinion. And I'm going to give you a follow for sure. Appreciate you for tapping in, brother. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that is the area of immediate necessity, right? We got to revamp that offense. It's in shambles, right? We got AOC. We have a partly built offensive line, right? You got literally Jacoby Myers is a wide receiver 1 currently, and then Trey Tucker, and then that's it. Everybody else who was in that receiver position was from the practice squad, and they're most likely going to be gone. Running back room, non-existent almost. You got a piece here and there with Sincere McCormick, and maybe you keep Abdullah, as a veteran. But other than that, you got nobody. Lobby, who's a rookie, he's still developing, and we saw kind of what transpired from him. And then we like to see him progress more. But right now, there's really nothing offensively. It's really a whole rebuild at that point.
Yeah.
And because of AOC, we did lose. That was a deciding factor for Ben deciding to go to Chicago, because it wasn't really an answer at quarterback. AOC is not the guy, and he knows it. We all know it. That's just the way it is. So we got to address that for sure.
Yeah, the running back position, definitely. I mean, we weren't good on offense, but when we were very one-dimensional. We couldn't run the ball until Sincere took over. Sincere did a hell of a job towards the end of the year. Unfortunately, he got hurt. I hope to see Sincere back at some level. I hope he's the third string running back. I think he's good. He came from UTSA. He broke a lot of records at UTSA. And I would like him, but then obviously you got to address him in the draft, whether it's Scatterboo, whether it's Samson. I don't think we get James 6. I think that's a long shot. Judkins just entered the NFL draft.
Yeah, he just declared. I saw that.
Yeah, so I'm a huge Judkins fan, man. I think he's going to be a baller. So I would love to see the Raiders take a flyer on him. But, I mean, who knows? The Raiders, honestly, people hate when I say this. The Raiders have a lot of holes. And it's just reality, man. I mean, you got Christian Wilkins coming back. Yeah, defensive tackle. Is Coons coming back? I don't know. Both our safeties are free agents. We got a lot of corners on expiring deals. We got our linebackers on expiring deals. We don't really have a running back. We don't really have a quarterback. We need a wide receiver 1. There's a lot of holes with this team, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's not going to be done overnight. So
no, it's not. No, it's not. And I don't even think it gets done in the season. To be honest with you, I think we get a lot of pieces this season, but I don't think everything gets answered this season. You're still gonna have maybe a hole here and there, but if we get to see majority of the issues addressed, I think we can go ahead and consider that a win, in my opinion. Yeah. But yes, the offense is just what really needs to be addressed at this moment. Let me go ahead and kind of stick a little bit on that topic before we really get to the meat and potatoes of the draft. Trade rumors. So obviously, once Pete got announced, all this shit started like immediately, bro. Like I think like half hour after Pete got announced, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm gonna put this out there, but DK and Gino have been thrown around already as potential trades for them to come over to the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Um, I was uh, I was on my Instagram and I saw that Gino, or I don't know what I was watching a show. I saw that Gino had thrown. I probably was watching Rants. Um, uh, Gino had thrown like he put up a story with him and Pete, and he threw like the eyes, right, the eye emoji, and yeah, that was on his story. So I don't know what that means, and I think the post was, um, I don't know if I should continue, try my best here, or if I should take myself somewhere else, something along those lines. So it's kind of a little bit of a cryptic message, and you know how they do. So that's out there. A lot of people saying, we might trade for DK. I don't know if we actually necessarily do that quite yet. I would like for us to kind of figure the quarterback situation part out first before we make a move for Metcalf, because mind you guys, these guys are still under contract. They have 1 year left on both of their contracts. So whatever we do, we're gonna have to give up something, whether it's going to be draft capital, cash, or players, or maybe all three. I don't know. It depends, right? But we have to give up something.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your thoughts about these two guys and possibly them coming over to the Raiders?
In my opinion, I think if you get one, you don't get the other. I think, they both have, I don't know if it's animosity. DK, obviously, he's made some cryptic messages. He's told, I believe, that he kind of wants out of Seattle. That's why these trade rumors to the Chargers are happening. And obviously the Raiders because of the Pete Carroll thing. But we're going to take a receiver in the draft anyway, in my opinion. If you can go get a third rounder for DK Metcalf, who's 27 years old, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. He's kind of established. He knows his routes. The dude's a freak of athlete. And I 100% believe we're going to get, whether it's JC Horn Jr. from Colorado, or we're going to get someone late, and we're going to waste a draft pick, in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. If you can go get DK Metcalf for a mid-round pick, I think you got to just pull the trigger. Hopefully we do have a quarterback in place at that time. But you don't want a pissed off receiver again like Devontae. So I don't think DK would come anyway if we don't have a quarterback addressed. But I mean, if you maybe get a Sam Darnold, or you get someone with some stability, I believe there's a chance.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I think you're right. I think I don't think DK would want to come if there's no quarterback. I mean, really, are you gonna have AOC throw to his ass? I mean, no, I don't really see that working
but
out.
maybe on draft day, maybe I don't think he's gonna fall. Maybe Shador falls to you. You get him at 6, and then boom, then day 2 you trade for DK Metcalf, and oh damn, you got two. You killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right, yeah. No, for sure. And I'll touch on that the whole Shador thing, and how he could possibly fall to us at 6, because that might be a real possibility now. And I know I'm a Shador fan, I am, but
I'm a huge Shador
that is
fan.
not the reason. It's not being a biased thing. It's just an interview that I saw, and I'll discuss that in just a bit. But yeah, I don't know how realistic it would be to bring in DK. I don't know about Gino. You have
I think DK is more realistic than Gino, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And then obviously free agency and then re-signs extensions. I'll throw a couple names out there in just a second. But I am going to get everybody's intake on this whole.
With the re-signs, you can just name almost anybody. Our whole team's expiring.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Well, I don't know if we keep all of them though. I would there'll be some names that I wouldn't mind parting ways, and I'm just kind of trying to see if we can upgrade.
I had a top 3. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I had Adam Butler, Morig, and Hobbs. I think those are the 3 you kind of got to. But there's
I don't know about Hobbs for the only reason that he's so injury prone. Every year there's something with that guy, so we never get like a full season with him. I rather I'd rather keep like Chase on Butler, Morrig. Though I know they're letting them test out free agency. Maybe that's going to change with Spytek now in here.
But man,
And see what
Hobbs is
happens with that.
25. There's so much upside with him.
Yeah.
So much.
He's when he's on, but it's just healthy, keeping him healthy, and the price tag. So the price tag also has a lot to do with it. Really quick, let me go ahead and kind of share this poll before I put in the next one. I did ask everybody, what do they thought, what do they think if they should bring in as offensive coordinator? I got Michael Floor, Clint Kubiak, Bobby Slowick, Brandon Carroll, his son, and out of 17 votes, 52% said Mike LaFleur, and then 29% Clint Kubiak, with 11% only for Bobby and 5% for Brandon. So we know where everybody's thought process is at. Mike LaFleur really being out there as a really an attractive offensive coordinator to bring in, for what he's done under McVay. So for sure. But I just wanted to go ahead and share that with everybody, for sure. And I'm about to put the next poll up in just a second. And being on this topic of Metcalf and Geno, for sure. But yeah, I mean, obviously the next part, and before we even get to the draft, because free agency is March 12th, right? That's really when everybody can go ahead. I think the early part of the day, I think it starts at 1 p.m.
Eastern,
West Coast. It's 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. So they first start off with restricted free agents. So they have the first right of refusal for whoever's going to go on free agency. And obviously, we have some free agents that are going to go up. A lot of them actually, and that's what we're talking about. Adam Butler, Chase on. You got Morrig, you got Nate Hobbs, Spillane being the big one. I don't know who else. I think Jack Jones still has another year in his contract, I believe.
I believe so, but the consensus around the building is that he's an AP guy.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he sticks around or not. But and then obviously when we're talking about extensions, Max Crosby being one of them, right? Especially with the whole tweet, like everybody's sticking on to the tweet. I don't know if that's necessarily for us for football related. I think that's more something along like a personal type.
I believe so.
He's kind of chirping about,
I had a feeling it was towards Patrick Graham. I mean, he got the the whole Jags thing that happened to him. It's just a feeling. There was an article from, I think it was Mike. Mike posted an article, kind of that Max Crosby, he did the interview with, I forget who, but he kind of was upset a little bit about the whole PG thing.
Yeah, maybe. That it could be that. I forgot what he tweeted. I don't have my Twitter in front of me, but yeah, he tweeted something kind of cryptic, and people got weirded out by that. So, and it's funny, anything that he kind of puts out there, a lot of people react. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't put it past, maybe it is something football related with PG, or it could have been just something that he's kind of dealing with his boys, on a close personal friend type of thing. So, but let me go ahead and head up the chat. And again, I appreciate everybody joining us this Saturday morning. Thank you so much for tapping in and watching. Salute to the chat, as always. But let me go ahead and get a couple of takes here. My guy Mark, no to Geno, 15 interceptions this year, terrible. Raiders, full Chris. Appreciate you for watching, brother. Appreciate the subscription. I think I would rather have AOC than Geno. That says a lot. Shit. Okay.
The thing with that, real quick, let's go back. The whole AOC thing. AOC, man, he gets scared in the pocket. He's he's a statue. He don't really run. Gino's gonna bring some life to that offense.
Yeah.
When
We,
AOC
we,
there,
yeah, we
AOC
see how AOC runs.
yeah, AOC shows some life, but it's so inconsistent. Gino's going to give you 110 every play.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with it. I mean, Gino might be a lot of money anyway. If he has a lot of money, I don't mind with AOC. I mean, I do mind, but
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. I mind too. I would like for us to to really get somebody else aside from him. He's not the one. To me,
no, he's a
it-
career
we-
backup, man.
yeah,
Career
he's gonna be that premier backup quarterback. He's not
Yeah.
gonna be your starter.
No,
He's
no.
not gonna take you on a deep playoff run. My boy Cheeto, salute to him. Shout out to him. We talked about this on our Wednesday show. Or like, I know one of our guys in our panel is very passionate about AOC, and he was like, I think he's still the answer. And we asked him, well, how many games has he played? He's like, well, he's already played 2 seasons. Well, how many games has he played? So we looked it up. He's played in 17 games in the 2 seasons he's been here. And I think I forgot what the record was. I think it was like 7-10 in his in that 17 game span. So for him, really,
That's for O'Connell.
yeah, for O'Connell, huh? For
many-
really, for
I wonder how many of those were backup quarterbacks.
mhm.
Because we obviously AP had those 4 wins against them, so I believe that's O'Connell. So 4 out of his 7 wins are against backups.
Yeah,
So
mhm.
at
Yeah,
minimum,
so-
at minimum.
At minimum. So I mean, if it were to happen, it would have happened already.
Yeah.
How much more time are we gonna have to wait for this kid to really like come out and really like ball out? It's not gonna happen. And if it was Ben who came in who took the job, maybe he would have looked better. I think he would have proved, but not. He's not the answer. He still wouldn't be your answer guy.
Not
It would
wrong.
just be the good court backup to whoever
Correct.
the fuck he puts in place,
Yeah.
But yeah. My guy Walt says have to re-sign Spillane, guys, for sure. Facts. I would definitely like to see him back here next year. And it might happen, especially with Pete. Pete carries a lot of pull. I know that Max does like him, so hopefully that does happen. Raiders Fool says Morg, Butler, Spillane, Chason, Coons, and maybe Hobbs. All right. Yeah, I don't Coons, if he's cheap enough, I would like to go ahead and resign.
I believe he's gonna
if it's
come
not too much. Yeah, the price tag is not too much. Mind you, he's coming off an ACL tear. That's
come
the
back
only
slower.
thing.
You can come back faster. ACLs are so 50-50.
They're so 50-50. That's what worries me. Same thing for Bennett. I think Bennett has, I don't know if he's still under contract or not, Ja'Cory Bennett. And he started really, he had a great year up to the point where he tore his shit too. And so I don't know about him. And I hope he bounces back and is better than he was before. But, Jack Jones is still under contract, I believe. Okay. Facts. Let's see. Space Beast, salute my guy. Appreciate you for tapping in and joining us 12 hours later. You get Chase on and Kuntz back. All right. Good. Let's see. Raider D, appreciate you for tapping in, brother. These dudes are coming with AOC bullshit. Y'all don't really want to win, huh? Then want to be mad. Ben Johnson ran away from here. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, AOC's not the guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joey, appreciate you for tapping in. Sounds like we haven't signed anyone back. So why does 100 mil sound like a lot when we haven't even assigned players back to them? Back to the team, we're gonna be short staffed. Let's see. AOC ain't the answer for sure. I'm just saying, I don't know how much we would pay for Gino. I pay a little bit. We will have to trade for him and then rework his contract.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it. Not for Gino. When you have guys available in free agency, right? So the name that's also being floated out there is Russell Wilson, right? That whole reunion between Pete and Russell is being really pitched out there, and especially with Denver really paying the meat of that contract, right? We would get him probably cheap, like just like the Steelers did, right?
Mhm.
And it's looking that way if it were to happen. I don't know how realistic that would be. Not my first choice personally. But what are your thoughts about Russell? But I'm gonna throw this other name out there. Justin Fields is also a free agent. We're talking about offensive offensive guys. So what are
Dude,
your thoughts?
Russell Wilson, I mean, call him what you want. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's regressed a little bit. Maybe he finds a spark back with Pete Carroll. Maybe he gets, Brock Bowers going a little more. Russell Wilson he's probably going to be the guy. I think he has the best chance. Like, if you would put like some Vegas odds out there and you were like, hey, who's going to be the Raiders quarterback? Russell Wilson's going to be, on the top of that list. The rumors have already been spiraling. Russell Wilson is a huge upgrade from what we've had the past, whether it's Jimmy G, whether it's Minshew, whether it's AOC. I think Russell Wilson's gonna be the quarterback to start the year for the Raiders personally, and a lot of people don't like that. Is he the best quarterback option? No. But when you're picking at 6 and you have holes and you have all these other things that, it's a domino effect. Russell Wilson probably gonna be the week 1 starter. And that's just my opinion. I mean, you guys can hate it, but
Right, yeah.
my opinion. I just think there's too much familiarity with Pete Carroll. Obviously, he's gonna leave Pittsburgh, or Pittsburgh kind of wanted to rework his contract, but people were kind of saying that he might want to go to Vegas, so on, so on.
Yeah.
I think he's a good quarterback. I mean,
You saw what he did with Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
After they benched Fields.
Dude, he was literally just in the playoffs with Pittsburgh, given Pittsburgh's defense is top 3 in the league. But I mean, there's a lot of upside to Russell Wilson that people are kind of overlooking because he's washed or whatever they want to say about him. Right, Russell Wilson will probably be one of the best quarterbacks that we've had in the past 10 years.
And I he's not my first choice, but doesn't mean that I don't want him. I feel Justin Fields will be the better of those two. I want Shedeur too, but you're gonna ideally and
gotta be
realistically, right. Realistically, and the way that Tom Brady has put his ideal out there of him really not wanting to start a rookie quarterback right off the bat. He preferably wants to sit him for a year. Justin Fields or Russell Wilson will be perfect for that situation. I think out of those two, realistically, Russell Wilson will be that guy for many reasons, right? Obviously, we know what he can do, right? He was just in the playoff. He helped to take Pittsburgh to the playoffs because he played majority of the season. Fields only played like 4 games, right? Or 5 games. I think he went 3-2. Yeah, 4 or 5. He went 3-2 or 3-1, something like that. But he helped to take Pittsburgh to the playoffs. He's cheap. He's going to come in cheap. It's probably going to be under 8, 5.
Yeah, I would say he would come
under 8 or 5. Yeah,
I would say 8 to 7 million for 2 years. You get a 2-year contract, maybe some incentives if he makes the playoffs, if he makes the Pro Bowl, if he throws for so many yards. I believe 7 to 8, maybe with like a max of 12 to 13 with incentives.
I don't think you go too high. And
with incentive. So if he makes the Pro Bowl, he throws for 30 touchdowns, he throws for 3,500 yards. They'll throw in some incentives for him.
Oh yeah. And then so he comes in cheap. And this is the biggest thing. He gets to play against a team that literally cut him, that's paying his majority of his contract twice a year. So that would mean that the Broncos will play Russell Wilson to play against them twice a year. I would love that fucking scenario. To take it and shove it up the Broncos' ass twice a year. That would be amazing. That would be awesome. I like that for that reason. And the whole continuity with him and Pete Carroll being familiar and spending the whole time in Seattle, that's going to be the most ideal situation. A lot of people might not like that, and I get that. It's okay. He's not my first choice, but realistically speaking, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. That's what I'm leaning towards. I mean, I would love Shador. I just feel he's a pipe dream. I mean, there's
Mhm.
3 needy quarterback teams in front of us, and there's 2 top prospects.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, people are like, "Oh, but Browns have Watson." Well, Watson's probably gonna be out the whole year. I mean, and then
He tore his ACL again.
there's the rumor of the whole lawsuit with this TikTok video. I mean, there might be a way for them to get out that contract, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think they reworked it so they can get out of the contract. I don't
yeah,
know.
but then the
They
whole
reworked it
I
for a
don't know if
certain
you've seen
reason.
did you see the TikTok video? He was, like, dancing, and
No, I
they're like,
didn't.
"Well, that" so he had a video with his girlfriend, they were pulled over on the side of the road. It's a mountain somewhere, and he was dancing. People are like,
Mhm.
"That's a huge lawsuit. He's not supposed to be doing stuff like this," so on, so on. He can get out of the
Yeah, yeah,
contract. There's a whole thing about it. It happened about
yeah.
2, 3 weeks ago.
Oh wow, really? I know. I didn't see. I
Yeah,
didn't see
yeah,
TikTok. That's crazy. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. So yeah, then there you go. See, but either way, he tore his shit again, right?
yeah.
Um, and so he might be out again for this season. The season hasn't even started yet. So they are definitely looking for somebody to go behind Watson or take his place if they decide to part ways or if he's out for this season or whatever. So that might happen. I don't know. I like Justin Fields for um, I think he's the better of the two between Russell and him.
Mhm,
And he's not going to be super expensive.
mhm,
Now that Getsy is gone and he's not relevant.
mhm.
Now I think it becomes a little bit attractive for him to
Yeah,
come here. I think he can be a longer term solution. Excuse me. He can be here the whole time that Pete's here and really help Shador, Dart, or whoever you get in the draft to really develop
mhm.
and get ready to take over when it's their time, right?
Yeah, I didn't touch on that too much right now, but I agree with you on the whole Dart thing. You get Russell Wilson. Dart kind of resembles Russell Wilson the way he plays.
Mhm.
He kind of has that rollout factor. He has the big arm. I think he would be a good prodigy to Russell Wilson.
Mhm.
Um, but that's if you take Dart. I mean, obviously we're Raider fans. We make up all these scenarios in our head. Uh, we can go out and get another damn Alex Leatherwood. I mean, I
Yeah, yeah,
the draft last year was obviously BPA. That's what Tom Telesco is. He's a BPA guy, and it worked out. So I would love
yeah.
to see what Spytek's going to do.
No, for sure, for sure.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
and
mean, Tom Telesco had a great draft. I mean,
he
unfortunately, he's
did.
gone.
You
He
gotta
had
give him his flowers. I
yeah,
said that on your show last time, but you gotta
yeah,
give him his flowers. He
great
did
draft.
bring, yeah, he did bring Bowers, JPJ, and Glaze. He
Huge.
did bring in Chase on
Yeah,
mid-season.
yeah,
That's his guy. He brought him
yep,
in.
yep,
And look how he's working out. We're like, we gotta re-sign Chase on.
yeah,
So you gotta give him his flowers. He did a pretty good job. There was areas, obviously, free agency where he just flat out sucked, and maybe that's not his strong suit.
mhm,
Um, and that's okay, and he's gone now, so it doesn't matter. We got Spytek, and Spytek looks like he's more well rounded. Just to kind of circle back on Spytek, he did help bring Brady over to Tampa Bay.
yeah,
He brought in Brock that following year.
mhm,
But no, more notably, I think in this last year, he drafted Bucky Irving. I think
yeah,
that's his guy,
yeah,
right? And look what he did this season. I mean, shit, that
crazy.
was a gem. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a gem. So I trust Spytek's judgment in this draft. I want to really see what he can do. I think it's pretty known to everybody where really our need really lies.
mhm,
So it'll be interesting whether or not they're really gonna go ahead and go up in the draft to get a Shador Cam, or are they going to sit back and see what kind of falls in their lap at 6?
yeah.
And I think
I
that's a
think
real question.
Spytek does have a huge eye for talent. Like I agree with you. He also found Alex Kappa. He went to Humboldt State, D2 school, and Alex Kappa is one of the highest paid offensive guards in the NFL right now.
Mhm.
I think he has a great eye for talent. I'm excited for what he can do for us. He's built a great roster in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was so fun to watch this year. I don't know why. I was like, I caught myself watching Tampa Bay games. Like, dude, this team is just, they're electric. And that's
Yeah,
what we need. We need that. We need to be electric again.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. No, I agree. I think we have some pieces in place. Obviously, we need more, but I think we are on the right path to kind of get some of those pieces. I know another, and I kind of misplaced it a little, but he is a free agent. People are starting to talk about Khalil Mack possibly coming back to the Raiders. I don't know if that's going to be a real thing. Some people are saying like, hey, resign the guy for a year or two, let him retire as a Raider. He is getting up there. My take is like if he comes in, if he's cheap enough, then I think that he could be an option. But who knows? I don't know. What is your take on that?
Dude, I'm a huge Khalil Mack fan, man. It broke my heart the day he was traded. I woke up. I mean, I went to training camp that year up in Napa. They left him off all the promotional items. They had like the whole poster boards, and Khalil Mack wasn't on there. And we kind of knew at the time that he was probably going to be gone, but we didn't want to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a Khalil Mack reunion similar to Charles Woodson when he left for Green Bay, came back to Oakland. Obviously, Khalil Mack played in Oakland. He never played in Vegas.
Yeah.
But man, it's just I really do got a soft spot for Khalil Mack, and I hope he comes back. Does he? I think it's a pipe dream. I've been trying to promote it on my Twitter like crazy. I've been saying Khalil Mack, but I don't. I think he's gonna stay with the Chargers. That's just my opinion.
I think I heard that he kind of dabbled that he kind of wants to move on. I don't know if that is really true or not.
I'm not too sure either. Not too sure.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, to have him and Max run it, bro.
That would heal my childhood.
I think that a lot of questions would be answered at that point. A lot of dreams would be fulfilled for a lot of people. Like seeing Khalil and Max play together instead of opposing.
It would be awesome. I would love Khalil Mack. I think it brings dude. Could you imagine Khalil Mack, Christian Wilkins, and Max Crosby on the line? Man, that would be so ideal.
Yeah. That would really terrify the Chiefs playing us twice a year. Be like, what the like? We don't want to play these motherfuckers. Like they're gonna they're gonna run it. They're gonna fucking just smash us up. And I love that. And I know we're getting a little bit short on time. I'm gonna hop into the last topic, and obviously that's the draft. Obviously, questions is: do you go up to draft Shador or Cam? We touched upon it a little bit. Then also, who would you draft? Let's say they're not available. Who would you get at 6? Who would you get at 2nd? Who would you get your 2 number 3s? Right? What are your thoughts about that?
So my thoughts is with the Raiders and their holes, you don't move up for Shador or Cam. You don't give up any draft capital. You need that draft capital. You need to fill those spots. You need to fill those holes. At 6, if Shador's there, it's a home run. A+. You got Shador at 6. Ideally, I think you're probably gonna go with the cornerback from Johnson, Will Johnson.
Yeah.
I believe that's going to be the pick, especially with Pete Carroll being a defensive coach. It kind of fits. He's going to be our Richard Sherman. And I think that's who we're going to pick. If I had to put my money on it today, I believe it's going to be him. When you go to the 2nd round, that's where things get a little fun. Do you get Milrow? I mean,
I wouldn't. I'm not a Milrow fan. I wouldn't get Milrow. But I know
he has a lot of similarities. He had a lot of similarities to Lamar Jackson. He runs fast. He's built crazy. He had a bad bowl game. Lamar Jackson was picked 32 in the NFL draft. There's a lot of similarities to Lamar. Milrow might be that guy. In the 2nd, maybe in the 2nd round, maybe you go for receiver. Obviously a desperate need as well. Maybe you go for Samson. Might be a little early for Samson, but he might be there. Maybe Judkins is there. There's just so many holes there in the 2nd round. Being so early in the 2nd round, you're gonna have some talent there. Yeah. So I think that's where you go. 3rd round, maybe you dabble in on a linebacker. Maybe you get Cam Scatterboo. Maybe you go quarterback 2nd round. Maybe you go 3rd round. You get Scatterboo. Scatterboo is going to be a 3rd or 4th round pick.
I like Scatterboo.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of the direction they're heading. I think defense is going to be the pick at 6 if Shador isn't there. Maybe you do Abdul Carter. I mean, that's another name you can throw out there. From
I don't know if he'll be available at 6, though. Still,
he might. I mean, you never know with the draft.
you never know with the draft, but I think that he's somebody can snatch him up. This guy, is just a phenomenal player, and he's looking to be the next big thing. The next big Max Crosby or even better.
One of my boys was kind of giving me those Madden scenarios. He goes, "Bro, Kyler Murray could be available for trade. You can get Gentry at 6." I'm like, dude, come on. At running back at 6 wouldn't be ideal. In my opinion.
Not at 6. No.
As much as I love Ashton, I don't think he's the answer there.
No,
I mean,
not with this draft class.
Dude, he's gonna be a dog, but at 6, it's a little too early.
Yeah, for sure. I think, and since we're talking about Shador and all that, so I heard an interview. I think it was on Pat McAfee. I think it was I don't know if it was the new GM Borghese or I forgot somebody else. But they were talking about this Tennessee, and they were talking about they're not gonna go ahead and ignore a generational type player. That's kind of what they're wanting. Whatever position it would be, they know they have necessities, right? But if a player like that is available, they're probably going to go ahead and lean towards somebody like that. So my thought process, even though they do need a quarterback, they might not necessarily pick that at number 1. They might pick like an Abdul Carter at number 1. He might go number 1. They might get that, or they might get a Travis Hunter.
I think it's Travis Hunter, based on the comments.
Either one of those two guys. I don't think.
What if Travis Hunter? This was a fun question the other day? Sorry to interrupt. For some crazy reason, if Travis Hunter's there and Shador's there, which one do you go for?
I would go for Shador for the only reason that we need the quarterback more. Because I feel that we could still pick up a draft, a really good wide receiver, tall one, in the 2nd and 3rd. That's the only reason. Or we can pick up one from free agency, but it would be a hard one. That is a hard question, right? If they're available at 6, who would you get? But where you're because who the fuck are you gonna pass? Who's gonna pass the ball to Travis?
I agree. Yeah. Russell Wilson, Sam Darnold, just the names that are thrown out there. Jameis Winston has thrown out there.
So if you sign Russell or Justin Field or Darnold, whatever, right? Whoever, free agency, and you got that kind of already settled, then you would go for Travis Hunter if he's available. I'll leave it like that. I think that would be a good one. But yeah, that's. I wanted to put it out there. I didn't want to touch on that last night, but that's basically what's been put out there. So Tennessee might not necessarily get somebody at 1 who's a quarterback. They might go for Abdul. They might go for Travis. For Shador, we know that Cleveland most likely will not draft them. If not, they'll probably veto it, and they'll be like, hey, you know what? You need to trade me, bro. Make that happen. I'm not going to play for you guys. So it might be Cam. And then you still have New York, which we know where their heart lies. They're going to go ahead and try to get a quarterback. So who knows? Maybe Cleveland decides to go ahead and get somebody in the 2nd round. That could be.
There's options, man. I mean, the top 10 picks. I mean, there's options there. I mean, whether you want to go running back or some offensive lineman, whether you go Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. I mean, there's options. I mean, at 6, it's not a terrible pick. I would have loved. I mean, I'm probably in the bias there. Raiders won those games. I can't even tell you who they won against. I mean,
Jaguars. I was there for that game.
Am I happy they beat the Saints? I mean, at that point, the Jaguars won. I mean, it hurt me a little bit because I'm like, man, we missed out on generational talent. But and then it would have been better if AP would have stayed. I'd have been like, okay, he fought for his job. But for them just to go and blow it up in our faces, I'm like, man.
It's kind of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's just like, man, for them to blow it up in our faces like that, I was like, this is some BS.
Some bullshit. Yeah, no, for sure. I feel you on that. But yeah, that's my take on it. I think that maybe Shadur's going to be available at 6. If he is, gotta grab him. Or Cam, you gotta grab him. If you don't,
If
I'm
Shador's
more
there at 6, man, I'm the happiest Raider fan.
Oh yeah, me too, for sure. I'll be like, fuck yeah, we got
Yeah,
it.
I'm the
Watch the Raiders fuck it up and then not choose him, but I doubt I really doubt that happening. I'm
No, yeah,
maybe
Shador
95% they're gonna get him,
If Shador's there, Shador has sent so many cryptic tweets at the Raiders. Dion has sent so many cryptic tweets at the Raiders. I would love it for happen, but if you get Dion, you probably got to get Shiloh in like the 6th or 7th. But fuck it, bring him.
yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, let me go ahead and kind of go ahead and start wrapping it up. I did want to go ahead and share a couple of these polls. I did ask everybody who should the Raiders trade for. As far as the two guys that we mentioned earlier, Metcalf or Geno, and I put a third option neither. Figure out the QB first. 40% said Metcalf, 7% said Geno, and 51% said neither. Figure out the quarterback first.
That's a smart 51, man. DK is awesome. Dude. That's a smart 51. You got to figure out the quarterback position.
Yeah, for sure. And then I have another poll up currently. I am asking everybody, and make sure if you guys are on my channel, go ahead and cast your vote. I'm going to end it pretty soon. Who should Pete and Spytek draft at 6? I got Abdul Carter, Will Johnson, Shadur Sanders, or T-Mac. Currently, Shadur Sanders is in the lead, 58% for Sanders, 17% for Will Johnson and T-Mac, and only 8% for Abdul Carter. That is surprising. I did a similar poll the other day, and those numbers were switched on Wednesday. Abdul Carter was the heavy favorite. So I'm really surprised about this, about the audience today. They had a change of heart. 12 votes just cast, so make sure you guys go plug in your vote. We're about to wrap it up. Yeah, man, I appreciate you being on the show. Let me ask you, and it's kind of shifting away a little bit from football. Like what brought you into wanting to, cover the Raiders, do a show, linking up with Josh, the Go 209, and you guys have your channel over there, and you guys doing the damn thing and really building that up. I know you have a big presence on Twitter and Instagram. Tell us about that, bro.
So, I grew up. I grew up about 45 minutes out of Oakland. So I was a season ticket holder with my pops for a long, long time.
Nice.
I actually didn't get into Twitter till COVID. I kind of wish I got into it before, because I was at every game, man. I would have had so much content and stuff, but I was just having a good time. I was getting drunk. I was having a good time at the games. And then 2020 happened, and I was like, man, what do I do? So I was like, you know what? I started a meme page. I was a Raider frog.
Yeah, I saw it. That's why I was yesterday. I was like, yeah, I remember, bro.
Yeah, dude, I was a frog, bro.
I was like, what's
I would kind of just talk and bullshit and make memes, and I was kind of a meme page at first, and then 2020 ended, and I had to gain a little following. I had some interactions that were not the best with some players that ended up blocking me, but it is what it is. That's what kind of a meme page was. Like, you know what? I want to be more official. I was like, I know what I can do this. I know that's something I can, branch into. So I rebranded in 2021 to, using my face. I never posted my face or anything like that, because I was like, man. So I branched off to that until about 2021, and I made some connections in the industry, which was nice. I blew up off a few tweets. I had the McDaniels firing first through a friend. So I was able to post that, and people were like, "Oh no!" Even your boy Q was like, "That's not me. Don't put your name." And I was like, "Watch, bro. Just quote it." And the next morning, I was like, "Hey, what happened?" And I was able to blow up a little off that. And then actually, I linked up with Josh. Believe it or not, we live pretty close to each other.
All right.
Oh, I've always kind of knew who he was. And we kind of linked up recently. He had posted something about the Met Gala over in Vegas at the Wynn. It's a Raider event that raises money for charity every year. And he had posted it, and I was like, hey, how do I get to it? And he was like, oh, we have a table. This is the fee. I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. So we met up in Vegas, and we went to the event. And it was a great event. I was able to meet, Plunkett, all those guys, Marvin Lewis, AP. I was able to get some cool videos. If you want to go look at them, they're on my Instagram, Raiders AQ. AP's not there anymore, but I got videos with him. I was able to link up with Jack Jones a little bit. We played Madden together, so that was that was cool. And then we blew up. Me and Josh blew up together for the first time at training camp this past offseason. For the whole Kermit video. I'm the one who made the video. A lot of people.
Oh, no shit. Okay. I thought he did.
No, I'm the one who made the Kermit. I made the video. But I'm the one who made the video. That was my video that went super viral. That got that went crazy.
It was. I remember that, and I hit you guys up. I was like, bro, you guys are like fucking killing it, and
that one went crazy, man.
Yeah, I hit them up. They came out in that I forgot which game versus the Chiefs. I think it was the first game in Vegas, and they had Kermit Frog, and I'm like, look, bro, like you're fucking on TV. If I could set up that clip,
Buffalo had Kermit Frogs. Atlanta had a guy dressed up as a Kermit Frog. I mean, obviously we all knew it was Kermit, but everyone was scared to poke the bear. I'm like, man, fuck this, dude, like it is what it is, and it was obviously Trey Taylor. I reached out to Trey when the video, went viral. I was like, hey man, like, my bad. I was like, if you want me to donate to like any charity, like, it is what it is at this point. Like, fuck, that shit went, extremely viral. Sometimes I forget that on Twitter, a lot of my shit goes viral, and it's kind of funny to me because I'm just posting stupid shit half the time. That one just, dude, I had Bleacher Report in my DMs. I had ESPN. I had everybody. I had Pat McAfee DM me. It was insane. And the whole Kermit, a lot of people don't like it though. I had a lot of hate messages. I got 2 death threats from Kansas City.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, I had one dude was like, hey, you come to Kansas City, like, watch your back. I'm gonna skin you, this and that. Like, dude, I got some death threats off it.
Shit. And, I'm pretty sure I can only imagine what the kind of messages that Josh was getting.
Yeah, and me and Josh have different mindsets. I felt bad. I was like, man, like this dude's a rookie. Like I fucked up for him. So that's why I messaged him. I reached out to him. We talked, we squashed it out.
Yeah.
And it is what it is at this point. But it was funny. I mean, shit. A lot of people. We actually got to talk to Trey Taylor's dad, and he was like, dude, that video was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Man, yeah, so we did that's when we blew up together first. And Josh has a huge Instagram following. He's always had a huge Instagram following. We're always at the games. We sit fairly close to each other. I'm row 2 in the black hole. He's row 1. So we're there. We're there for mainly every game. And that's kind of how I got started. I started off as a meme page. I transitioned to a personal page, and I made some good connections along the way. So I have some friends. I mean, I can't name them, but they shoot me some info every once in a while.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, bro. Yeah, no, for sure. You got the inside track. Yeah, you got the inside info. And that's a great connection to have. That video went viral, and everybody was just blowing. It got so big that it made its way to my home, and they fucking addressed it. They hit that dude. Like, what you think about the whole Kermit thing? We'll see what happens during the season. It's fucking like,
it was on the New Heights podcast with the Kelsey brother. Dude, it was everywhere. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. I've never had a video. I think it ended up doing, I forgot how many. It was like 90 something million views or something crazy like that. It was insane, dude. It was crazy.
Super viral.
Yeah, it was
super viral. I mean, if you hit 1 million, 2 million, you're already at that
viral
sensational viral, right? If you're hitting anything over 10 million, that's a whole other level. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. You guys do a show every week, right?
We do a show every Tuesday at 8. It's QX Go. It's me and Josh Gapiotti, the GOAT 209. He's big on Instagram. I'm big on Twitter, so we link together to try to expand both platforms. I'm trying to go into Instagram a little bit more because I'm not too deep dived on Instagram. I'm more on Twitter. So that's my niche. It's Twitter.
Bro, I am going to pick your brain on Twitter because I'm trying to increase my following on Twitter. Literally got like 15 people following me on fucking Twitter. I post a lot of shit. I post all of my shit that I usually post on Instagram, it goes over to X, and then it just doesn't fucking correlate. So I don't know. I haven't figured out the whole Twitter thing, but it's all
Twitter is
good.
it's kind of about connections. Like you kind of just got to quote with people. You got to follow the right accounts. I mean, there's a lot of like Raider insiders, Vinny, Mo. You kind of just got to get in with them. Just start posting funny stuff. That's kind of what I did. I just started posting.
Yeah, I do. I put in all my memes shit over there.
Yeah. And now I kind of, instead of memes, I kind of transitioned more into like rumors. Obviously I posted the DK Metcalf thing like yesterday morning, and that shit is like at I forget how many million right now. But and you kind of just gotta memes. That's what Twitter is.
Yeah.
You know what though, Twitter, bro? You gotta learn when you do, start doing the comments will kill you on Twitter, man. The faceless profiles, all the ones talking smack about you because of your rumors or stuff like that. So yeah. But I'm Raider AQ on Twitter. I have a YouTube channel, QXGo with Josh. But yeah, Twitter is it's a whole different world. Instagram, I can't find out Instagram either. I don't know. But my Instagram used to be my personal page back in high school. So I don't know. I've debated about making a Raider page, but I don't know. Maybe one day.
Yeah, because my account is it's a Raider page. I even have a page for this podcast, but I have my personal one. So it's just like family, my close friend. Yeah, I separated it. I wanted to do it that way because I post stuff about my kids, my family, and all that. And I keep that to my inner circle, to my people who know me, who really know me, for a long time. Everything else, I'm all about Raiders 365. That's my wifey. She, I think she's starting to get sick of the whole Raiders shit. She's not a Raiders fan. She's a Saints fan. She's behind me. She's listening. She's like, stop talking shit.
Man. Same boat. Mine's a Cowboys fan. So
oh my god, that's it. It's the same thing. Worse. Cowboys, yeah. So I mean, but she's very supportive on what I do and everything.
That's awesome.
But
gotta have that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I separate the two, and I keep it kind of separate. But I'm starting to grow that Instagram following. Hopefully, I can hit 1,000 followers pretty soon. And we're getting there. We're at like 6 something, almost 7. So
there you go. Yeah, the thing with I think it's the personal thing. Just how it is. And I just same with you. I don't want to post my personal stuff and see all that stuff. So maybe I'll
you kind of keep that.
I've been linking up a lot with Raider Ramble on Instagram, trying to get my stuff going. But
dude, salute to him.
It's so much personal. I'm like, I don't know if I want that.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I've seen him around on Instagram, and I saw him on X too.
Yeah, he's been collaborating on most of his posts with me, which I appreciate. He's been doing that out of courtesy to help me build. But at the same time, I started thinking, like, do I really want to be Instagram?
Yeah. No, I don't care. I'm just like, I'll post shit out there. Sometimes I'm just like, fuck it. I mean, my thing is, I'm into like humor and shit. And I think me and Josh have the same type of humor where we can be dark, and I can go to those places. Yeah. And I know I like his shit because I'm like, people get pissed off. I'm like, bro, it's just a fucking joke. Don't come on, like. Get dial it down, okay. But I post a lot of shit. I make fun. I was making fun of AP. I was making fun of I think a bunch of people, bro. AOC. I make fun like our own team, and that's and if you can't laugh at yourself, is like, come on now, like the shitty season we just had. There has to be some type of laughter in there to kind of lighten the mood.
And that's kind of why I wanted to link up with Josh. I don't like being PC. I like talking shit. I like, I don't do this for financial gain. I do this just as a hobby. I do it for fun. And I like the way Josh does it because he don't give a fuck.
He doesn't. He's just like, fuck it. I'm going to throw it out there and say whatever, and
I wrote Central Valley. I went to Ceres, bro. That's close to me though. I went to Ceres.
Yeah. Oh shit, that is crazy. But
really high.
There you go. For sure. Well, you guys are doing the damn thing. You guys had Mitch Rentz last night. That's a big name. I when Josh kind of put it out there, I was like, what the fuck? Really? How'd you guys swing that? And for you guys who are new and don't know the whole thing, I mean, Josh talks a little bit of shit. And he wasn't a fan of Mitch for quite a while. And there was a lot of things that were said. And so, led to one person being blocked and another person calling out. And I heard that you fostered that relationship to get him on the show. How did you pull that off? How did you do that? And how did that interview went last night?
Bro, I'm cool with everybody. When I'm in Vegas, I'm like, dude, you follow me, let me buy you a shot. Like, like I try to be cool with everybody. I met Mitch back at the opener last year. I met him at Mandalay Bay pool party. It was a Raider pool party. I met Mitch there, and we hit it off. He was hella cool. We kicked it, and he was cool. And we've always linked up together. Even though he knew I was with Josh, we would message each other back and forth. And then he reached out to me, and he was like, "Hey, bro, like New Year's resolution. I'm trying to squash all my beef."
Oh wow, okay.
He was like, "Hey, I know Josh is your boy." He goes, "I want to come on your show." And he was like, "Ask him." I was like, "All right, I'll ask him." And I asked Josh, and he was like, "Fuck it. Yeah, that's a huge name. Like, let's do it." Like, and Mitch knows ball. That dude impressed me insanely yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He does. Crazy. He does. He's very knowledgeable and he knows his shit. It's just sometimes he's wild with this shit, right? Yeah. Sometimes it's like, come on, well, what's going on now? That could be for a lot of things, and and sometimes it is his personal opinion, like, hey, I just want to put it out there. I get once he said, like, hey, I want to make you guys think outside of the box and not just be like, okay, think about this other option. Could that really realistically work out? And so now we kind of see a little bit behind of the things that he says. It's not just always for clout. It's just like maybe he really wants you to kind of think outside the box.
And he respect that. Stuff. He was like, bro, I grew up in Pennsylvania. He was like, I honestly, I didn't grow up a Raider fan. He goes, but who wants to bandwagon this team? I was like, dude, you're right.
Yeah. I know. If he, this is the thing. If he was really a fake fan, this dude would have been out by now. Like, fuck this. These guys, they fucking suck. They never win. I'm out. I'm not gonna do this shit. I mean, I know the whole he gets paid for thing is, that's really a lot where the shit comes from. Like, if you love what you do and you're good at it, why the fuck not get paid? That's my take on that. I'm trying to get paid. I know you get paid. Everybody was trying to get paid. Everybody's trying to make the dollar at the end of the day. Then there's nothing wrong with that. But I know that his passion, because you can see it is
there
for the Raiders. Yeah, it is there for sure, 100%.
Yeah. Raider Fool Chris and Billy Davis. I do. It's Q as in Quebec X Go, and that's my YouTube. I'm on Twitter at Raiders AQ. That's where I'm bigger at. My Instagram is Raiders AQ as well. I'm Raiders AQ everywhere. My YouTube is a collaboration with Josh. QX Go.
Yeah, let me see if I can go ahead and put it up really quick.
Yeah, I gotta wrap it up here then too, Jay.
Yeah, we gotta go ahead and head on out. There's some playoff games that are about to happen in just a bit. I definitely go ahead and I definitely do want to go ahead and watch those. Obviously, who do you got? Who do you got on the games?
I'm taking Washington and I'm taking Buffalo. That's where I'm going with. I'm going Washington. I'm going Jaden Daniels. I'm going Buffalo.
Same.
That's where my heart is. Saquon's a monster, though. I mean, if Saquon makes it, I'm not mad. I just want to keep Kermit out.
Yeah, me too. Facts. And I think they have a shot.
So Josh Allen's from Fireball. I mean, I don't know where you're from, but
I'm in Albuquerque. But I'm from LA. I'm from LA too, though. I was raised in LA. I would live there for like 30 plus years and shit.
Gotcha. I actually ran into a few Albuquerque cats at Denver a few years back.
Oh, really? Okay.
My whole chapter. I have some pictures.
Yeah, bro. We're deep out here. We have to contend with the Broncos and the Cowboys, but we're deep.
I ran into a few out there. I have some pictures. I'm gonna see what it'd be crazy if you're in one of them.
We hit the Denver game every year.
We're in Denver in the black hole thing, dude. I'm gonna have to pull it up. I'll find it.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there. This past one. I was trying to see if I can link up with Josh. I don't know if you were there for this game or not.
No,
but I was trying to link up with them. We just didn't get there in time, and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck. I think he
Yeah.
went inside the stadium by the time we actually got to the lot to where there's a certain place that the Raiders
Mhm.
fans hang out at. So
Yeah, the back
unfortunately,
corner over there.
yeah. But man, again, let them know. We'll
Yeah.
go ahead and kind of wrap it up now. Let them know where they can go ahead and find you on your socials,
Yeah.
what you have coming up, or
Yeah.
anything like.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm QX Goat. Thanks, Jay, for having me. So we appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Take care.
Cool. All right. Appreciate Raiders AXQ tapping in. And again, everybody on the channel, appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for sure. Help to keep the go ahead and keep the lights on. Help to support the show. Make sure you guys hit those thumbs as well for this video. And I got more guests lined up that I'm trying to line up for the Saturday morning show. This is kind of be the guest spot for a lot of content creators out there. So I'm trying to go ahead and work on more guests. Salute to my guy Raiders Excuse for jumping on this Saturday morning. I know he's a very busy man. Got a lot of stuff going on, so I appreciate his time for sure. Make sure you guys keep tuning in for that Saturday morning show going down every damn Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. For all my East Coast heads, salute to everybody out in the East Coast. My guy Jeff, New England Booster, heading up that front over there out in New England. And everybody on the Eastern Seaboard, salute to you guys, my family out there as well. If you guys are watching, for sure. As always, make sure you guys go ahead and follow me on all my socials: Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and also X, just like I was talking about with Q, at JRaider_505. That's JRaider_505. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap in on there because I also break news on those accounts as well. So make sure you guys are tapping in, and plus I post funny shit on there as well. So I'm starting to be a little bit more active on the X account, and I'm gonna try to see if I can grow that following a little bit more. And again, I got the little tidbits from Q, so that's always good to know. Appreciate everybody on the chat tapping in. My guy Chris, my guy Raiders Fool, appreciate you for tapping in, brother. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this poll, and I'll share it, and then I'll go ahead and sign on off. But I did ask everybody who should Pete and Spytek draft at number 6, and I gave some options out there. I had Shadur Sanders, Abdul Carter, Will Johnson, and T Mac out there. So let me go ahead and kind of share that really quick. And the results were 57% for Shadur, 57% for Shadur, 19% for Abdul Carter, 11% for Will Johnson and T Mac. So today is change of heart. A lot of people want to go ahead and see Shadur in the silver and black, and if he becomes available at 6, definitely somebody that we should get. I appreciate everybody casting their vote. This is out of 26 votes that were casted. 57% feel that we should go ahead and get Shadur at 6 if he becomes available, for sure, 100%. Again, I want to thank you guys, everybody in the chat, everybody tapping in on X and also on YouTube. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I got the show now. I'm doing the show on Monday night. The overreaction. That's how I'm gonna dub it. Mondays. That's gonna be around 9 p.m. Pacific time. That's gonna be following my guy Cheeto Linus' show, Widow Raiders podcast. Make sure you go ahead and give him a subscribe as well. And he does that at 7 p.m. Pacific every damn Monday with him, Chona, and Queen V over there as well. So make sure you guys tap in. And I'll be going on right after that. We'll talk Raider news and anything, rumors, all that good stuff. Anything that happens over the weekend, we'll tap into that as well. And then obviously the Raider Connection going down every damn Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. That's Cheeto Linus, my guy Jeff, New England Booster, LV Raider 10, and then myself. We do game day breakdown for this offseason. We're touching on all the top everything news related for the Raiders, rumors as well. So we get to finally dabble into that, the draft. So that's every damn Wednesday at 7 p.m. Make sure you guys tune in for that. I have it streaming on this channel and everybody else as well. So make sure you guys tap into that. But again, I appreciate everybody tapping in. I hate to go ahead and leave over 100 people in the building. Man, got to hit 100. Love that. But got the game going on in just a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and try to catch that. And then, but we'll be on. I'll be on Monday. So make sure you guys tap into that. Hit that subscribe. Trying to get to 250. I'm at 188, or I was at 188. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. So that way I can bring you guys more Raider related content to you guys and do more shows. I have more guests on, so make sure you guys tap in every damn Saturday morning. Might have a big name next Saturday. I don't know. Still in the works. We'll see what happens. I don't want to put it out there yet. I'm still working on it, so we'll see what happens. But I'll most likely have another guest on for next week, and then I'll put that out there probably around Thursday or Friday. You guys should know who that guest will be for next week's show for sure. But with that being said, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Until next time, always remember, just Raiders, baby. Peace.